Good morning to one and all. My name is Sohit, roll number J from ECED section. Today, my topic is about communication process. Communication is a process whereby information is enclosed in a package and is channeled and imparted by sender to a receiver via some medium. The receiver then decodes the message and gives the sender a feedback. All forms of communication require a sender, a message, and an intended recipient. Communication has been defined by many theorists. According to W.H. Newman, communication is an exchange of facts, ideas, opinions, or emotions by two or more persons. Ellen Lewis says, communication is the sum of all the things one person does when he wants to create an understanding in the mind of another. It involves a systematic and continuous process. To quote Norman B. Sigban, communication is the transmission and reception of ideas, feelings, and attitudes, both verbally and non-verbally. In general, we could define communication as a two-way process that results in a shared meaning or common understanding between the sender and the receiver. Here we can see the communication process shown in flowchart, where the sender sends the message, he encodes the message and sends through channel where the recipient decodes the message. He sends sender feedback, which is also encoded and sent it through channel, where you can see barriers here, which will be occurred in a communication. Elements of communication. An understanding of how communication works can help us to understand and improve our communication. The communication process is dynamic in nature rather than a static phenomenon. Hence, it is considered a continuous and dynamic interaction, both affecting and being affected by many variables. The basic communication model consists of 5 elements of communication: the sender, the receiver, the message, the channel, and the feedback. The sender. The sender plays the specific role of initiating communication. To communicate effectively, the sender must use effective verbal as well as nonverbal techniques. Speaking or writing clearly, organizing your points to make them easy to follow and understand the subject clearly. Maintaining eye contact using proper grammar and giving accurate information are all essential in the effectiveness of your message. The sender should have some understanding of who the receiver is in order to modify the message to make it more relevant. A receiver means the party whom the sender transmits the message. The receiver can be one person or an entire audience. The receiver can also communicate verbally and non-verbally. The best way to receive a message is to listen carefully, sitting up straight and making eye contact. Nodding and smiling as you listen demonstrate that you understand the message. Communication process. For an effective communication, not only the sender but also the receiver must take part in it. As we have previously learned that communication is a two-way process, not a single-way process. The message. The message can come in many different forms, such as an oral presentation, a written document, an advertisement, an internet website. It is an important part of communication. Message is the content that sender wants to convey. A message could be verbal or non-verbal. The message isn't necessarily what the sender intends it to be. Rather, the message is what the receiver perceives the message to be. As a result, the sender must not only compose the message carefully, but also evaluate the ways in which the message can be interpreted. The channel. The person who is interested in communicating must choose the channel for sending the information, ideas, etc. This information is transmitted to the receiver through certain channels, which may be either formal or informal. The channel sits between the sender and the receiver. Many channels or types of communication exist, from the spoken word or radio, television and internet site, or something written like a book, letter, or magazine. Feedback. The last element of effective communication. Feedback describes the receiver's response or reaction. The receiver can transmit feedback through asking questions, making comments, or just supporting the message that was delivered. Feedback helps the sender to determine how the receiver interpreted the message and how it